Hello, good day everyone, and welcome back to the channel Master Mariner Amit Sangwan. In this video, we are going to see what is a muster list and why a muster list is important. Now, we all know that emergencies can happen on ships at any time, and for that, we have to keep ourselves prepared to tackle any kind of an emergency. Nowadays, if you see that the ships are maybe 100 meters, 200 meters, or 300 meters long, and if there is an emergency, any kind of an emergency, we cannot run to each and every person and tell them to, oh, there is emergency, come, there is an emergency. No, for that we have the emergency signals. So whenever we have an emergency, we press the emergency signal or the emergency alarm, depending upon the kind of emergency. For example, if it is a fire emergency, we raise the fire alarm. If it is any other general emergency, we raise the general emergency alarm, which is 7 short plus 1 long blast. For man overboard, it is 3 long blast, and for any other emergency, it is the general emergency followed by the verbal announcement on the public address system. So everybody on the ship comes to know that there is an emergency. Once they know there is an emergency, they are all going to muster at the muster station. And for that purpose, we have a muster station which should be on the open deck close to the lifeboats. Otherwise, if we don't have a muster station, then the people can go anywhere. Maybe they will go on the bridge, they will go in the ECR, CCR, anywhere. So as to have a common point, which is called as the muster point, everybody has to arrive at that muster point. Now at the muster point, there will be one officer in charge of this muster station, and he will be taking the head count. And after that, he will be telling what kind of an emergency it is. The problem now starts here. Now everybody has to know what their duties are, what they have to do in that kind of an emergency. For example, if nobody knows what is to be done in case of a fire, then the officer in charge will be just telling them, okay, you go and bring the fireman's outfit, you go and bring the SCBA bottles, you go and take the fire hoses, you prepare the medical team, you prepare the stretcher. And if this happens, then a lot of time is going to be wasted in doing all this. Until that time, the emergency will go out of hand. So that is the reason why we have a muster list. So this muster list is prepared well in advance before the ship sails out, even before the crew joins the ship. The muster list is ready so that everybody knows what is to be done in an emergency, and that is what we are going to see here. Okay, so the muster list or emergency response plans, the muster list is also called as emergency response plan. It is a plan to respond to the following emergencies like fire, flooding, collision, grounding, man overboard, and ship abandonment, oil pollution, etc., etc. The crew members must know his or her duties and personal obligations and responsibilities and how to proceed to avoid problems in an emergency. Individual tasks are designated in the muster list, also called as emergency bills or stations bills. These tasks, these tasks are posted on the crew cabin and public spaces of the ship. The table includes details on the alarm system and how they sound. The special tasks are designated to each crew member, and the table will also include activities and jobs each member has to do. Every crew member must go to his or her muster station, protect the equipment, follow the supervisor's instructions in his or her station, or respond to which he or she has been trained to do when the alarm sounds. Now, these are the things, this is the theory, and now let's discuss what an emergency muster list looks like. Now, the emergency list looks like what you have on your screen, right? In fact, on your ship also, you will find a similar poster. This poster is posted in a conspicuous location, such as the alleyways, so that whenever the crew passes through there, they can easily see this. Apart from the muster list, we have something called as the emergency instruction cards. The emergency instruction cards are posted out on the outside of the crew cabin door or on the inside of the crew cabin door, so that the crew members can see this emergency instruction card while they're entering the cabin or while they are exiting the cabin, so that they can by heart their duties. Now, it should not happen that we have arrived at the muster station and nobody knows their duties. It becomes a very complicated situation then. An emergency, if it can be controlled at an early stage when the emergency is small, it is better that we will be able to control the emergency. But if we are not able to control that small emergency, may result into a big emergency which we may or may not be able to tackle. Okay, what you see on your screen is an example of a generic emergency muster list. On your ship, you will have a ship specific emergency muster list. On left or right side, you may have your company flag, but otherwise the contents inside the muster list are going to be somewhat the same. Okay, if you look at the right corner here, on the right corner, it says the duties in case of an abandoned ship stations. For example, if your crew is to abandon the ship due to any emergency, maybe because of fire or maybe because of flooding, grounding, capsizing, or maybe there can be any reason for which the ship has to be abandoned. Firstly, the master is going to give the order to abandon the ship. Remember, abandon ship order is the verbal order by the master, which he may give by a walkie-talkie, may give by a public address system, or may give by standing in front of you. Only then you have to abandon the ship. There is no other person who can give the order to abandon the ship. In the absence of the master, of course, it is his deputy, that is normally the chief officer, who is going to give this order. It will be a general emergency alarm followed by the verbal order by the master, that this is the captain of the ship, abandoned ship. This is the captain of the ship, abandoned ship. This is the captain of the ship, abandoned ship. He will give the abandoned ship order something like this. Here, the names, ranks are written like name of the person, so and so, then the rank of the person, so and so, the boat he is assigned to, the raft he is assigned to, and duties is assigned. For example, on top, it will be the master. On his name can be Mr. ABC, rank is the master, boat may be port or starboard or number one or number two, raft number one, number two, number three, or number four, any raft, and duties that he is the overall in charge of the abandoned ship operations. The second name is the chief officer. The name can be Mr. XYZ, rank is chief officer, boat can be number one or number two, raft can be any number of raft, 1, 2, 3, 4, whichever raft is assigned to him, and the duty is that he will be in charge of the lifeboat. Secondly, it will go so on like second officer, third officer, fourth officer, if there is any, or then the chief engineer, second engineer. Basically all the ship's crew will be included in it. There will be one more column inside this, and that column will be the substitute, that in case something happens to the main person, then the substitute takes over the duties of the main person. Now remember this substitute, because it is a very important part which is seen during the vetting inspection and during PSC inspections, and also it may be asked during your oral examinations. So this is how this column is filled up. Similarly, you will find another column here which will say duties in case of an oil pollution. So another column here saying duties in case of an oil pollution. Somebody will be assigned the duties to contain the oil, somebody will be assigned the duties to clean the oil, somebody will be assigned the duty to rig up the Weldon pump and pump the spilled oil into the slop tank. So that part is also going to be there. Now let's come to the left side. This side, if you see, the ship's staff is divided into a number of teams. That is basically during the fire teams, during the firefighting. During the firefighting, the ship's crew will be divided into a control team, a first emergency team, a second emergency team, a reserve team or a support team, an engine room team. Okay, so the ship's crew members will be divided into these different teams. In the control team, it is like this. Normally it stays on the bridge and controls all the operations from the bridge. Name of the person, rank of the person, and duties are given. So normally captain will be here. So Mr. ABC, rank master or captain, and duties that he is in the overall command of the operation or overall in charge of the operation. And secondly, then second person will be the second officer. He will not be there because he is also the in charge for the reserve team. So normally the third officer will be there because he will also be carrying out the communication, because that is also an important part during the emergency. So third officer will be there, his name will be there, and the duties will be there. Then the one AB will be there, AB XYZ, his rank AB, duty, he will be helmsman or to assist anything on the bridge. Similarly, there will be a first emergency team. In the first emergency team, you will have the chief officer, and along with him, you will have another 4 people to help him to fight the fire. So the emergency team 1 will be the first team which will be fighting the fire. The name, rank, and duties are given here, that somebody will be donning fireman's outfit and a CBS hat and fighting the fire. So, and 2 people will be there to assist these people. In the second emergency team, normally the in charge will be the second engineer, and there will be another 4 people, 2 people to don the fireman's outfit and the CBS set, and 2 people to assist them. In the reserve team, it will be the support team basically, which will be supporting the emergency team to fight the fire. And and to rig the fire hoses in the boundary cooling, and a lot of other things like for the medical team, and to prepare the lifeboat so that in case if the ship needs to be abandoned, then the lifeboat is ready to be lowered and you don't have to waste time in that. Then you have the engine room team. Normally the chief engineer will be in charge. Along with him there can be one duty engineer to control the machinery and a motorman also to assist the duty engineer, such as starting the fire pump, starting the emergency fire pump. Okay, so these are the duties in case of a fire. Then you have a man overboard party, that in case you have a man overboard, then the people involved in the rescue team, the names will be there. Normally it is the chief officer, the second officer, and one or two crew members. So ranks will be written here, names will be written here, duties will be written here, that they will be going in the rescue boat, and there will be rescue party, rescue party, rescue party. So this is how it is controlled in the fires. Fine. Fire. Okay, so we have dealt with fire, we have dealt with man overboard, we have dealt with abandoned ship, we have dealt with oil pollution. Then you see there are certain general instructions which will be given here on the bottom side, that the various kinds of alarm, and that who the officer will be responsible for maintenance of the life-saving appliances and firefighting appliances. The signature of the master will be put on the master list somewhere here or at the bottom, so that it means it is authorized by the master. And here the alarms are given, that what is to be done in case of fire or other incident, abandoned ship, man overboard, and general emergency, and other small instructions such as what channel on the walkie-talkie will be used for carrying out communication during emergency. All right, gentlemen, this was about the master list. I hope you have understood with this master list, and I hope to see you again in some other video. This I have enlarged a little bit so that you can see it properly. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it will be beneficial to you. Now this is a requirement by the SOLAS, and this master list is subject to inspection by all the vetting inspectors, by the PSC inspectors, or internal audits, or anybody, internal or external audits. Every time the master list is going to be seen, you have to keep the master list updated, and before the ship sails out from the port, the master list has to be updated. All the crew members have to be familiarized with the master list and their emergency duties. Any crew member can be asked about their duties in the master list by any inspector at any point of time. All right, thank you for watching this video, gentlemen. If you have any questions or any doubts, you can post it in the comment section. I'll try my best to reply to your doubts. This video is going to be helpful to the second mates who are preparing for the exams, and the boys who are going on the ship for the first time. Thank you for watching the video, and please don't forget to subscribe this channel, and your subscription makes me more motivates me to make more such videos. Thanks for watching the video. Thanks a lot, gentlemen. Have a great day.